I think it's always really great and motivational to hear other business leaders or people that set up their own business and just sharing some of the tips. I mean, one thing that I always say with these sort of events is you only have to get one thing from it, and they're worth coming, no matter who you hear. And I think there's been a lot more than one thing been said today. I mean, the panel, especially the guys at the end, they've been in business for 40 odd years, some of them. It's just great to just get any sort of bits of advice or problems that they've faced and they've overcome. If I can inspire anyone to do their own business or to do something that they love, that's what I want to do. I've got this big thing that you should be doing something that you love. Life's too short to be doing, whether you're working for someone or you're doing your own thing, if you don't love every single day, that's not right. Life's too short for that. So whether that means that you want to set your own business up like I did, that's what I wanted to do, or whether you maybe have a career that you really love, or I don't know, you go and climb a mountain or something. You've got to do something that you love, because time is the only thing you can't buy any more of. We've only got a certain amount of time on this planet, and you don't want to get to your deathbed at 70 or 80 and think, what have I done it? I've had a job that I've hated. It might have paid all right, but I've hated every single minute of it. So if I can inspire anyone to break that cycle and set up their own business, or just to change the way they think about things and just do something that they love, that's why I'd share my story. I think there was certainly some really good points on this last talk about needing your whole team to be on that same bus, going on that same journey, and that sometimes, although you will people to come along with you on that journey, and you do, sometimes it is maybe time to say to people, look, if you're not willing to come on this journey, maybe it's time to get off the bus and find another bus. I think that's true for anyone, isn't it? And I also think it's great to see that there is a passion and a belief that Lancashire should be raised up a lot more, because it isn't at the moment. It's not in the place where it should be. I mean, obviously I'm in technology, and all you ever see about technology, even if it's on the BBC or ITV, is Google and Facebook. Big American firms. That's the only two companies you even think of. If I asked anyone, tell me a couple of technology companies that are British, people would be struggling, and that's sad. And if I asked you to tell me some big technology companies that are based in Lancashire, that's even worse. You won't even be able to answer it. So I think it's great to see that there's people committed to raising that profile and shouting about Lancashire and shouting about Lancashire businesses as well.
I think it's been really good. You learn something every time I come to a downtown event, anywhere. But the Boost are particularly fantastic across Lancashire, and I've worked a lot with them, so I'm really impressed with how much they help support businesses, and it goes from advice through to mentoring right through to the access to finance piece. So I think they've been fantastic. It was a brilliant event today. I think for me it's about opening my eyes to the advice that I support customers with. So obviously I look after the rate setter customers and the partners that work with them, but for me now, I think the world's ever evolving, so a lot of the VC finance and how the other businesses have seen how they've grown and boosted across the digital piece has been amazing to hear about the digital space, and I think it was a really good element to see what's happening across Lancashire, and that real piece around the local county council and the powerhouse and what's involved in that. I think that was really informative, and it's great to get a few different people's perspectives on that as well. I think it's about making sure people know that we genuinely want to support them. We genuinely care about whether their business is productive or not, and we want to help them get there. If we can't help them at Rate Setter, we'll always look to help through other partners. So it's about making sure that no's only a no today, that we can get a customer over the line, whatever support they need, in the right way.
The conference has been great, really. It's been a good blend, obviously, with 3/4 of the way through the day, but we've had this sort of political, local government focus initially, and then we talked about digital, quite specialised digital and technology talk, and then obviously the typical chat around access to finance and how businesses scale and how you grow businesses, and who are the funders. Is it the banks, the peer-to-peer lenders, the VC networks, the private equity houses? So it's been a good blend already. It was January 2010 we started a digital marketing agency, so quite a typical business model, agency model, so clients, service-based proposition. Grew organically and grew quarter on quarter organically, and still continues to. There's an MD in charge of that now, but I think probably that the more innovative bit was where he referenced some frustration. So we created a spin out, which is Ruler Analytics, a software business that trades globally. So we've created an innovative website analytics and marketing analytics product that kind of fills in the gaps that Google Analytics remains unanswered, and then passes that data to where a marketing team or a business need to see it. I suppose some of the frustrations are around how do you scale in kind of like a non-traditional way. So where can you access the funding to kind of send the business onto the right trajectory? So inevitably you're gonna get into a little bit of a loss, and how long can the business sustain that loss for, until you get to break even. So I think it's probably a discussion we have quite often in the North is access to VC networks, access to private equity networks for seed rounds, and then follow on Series A rounds. And we obviously in the discussion we talked a little bit more broadly about banks and traditional lenders too, which we haven't got much experience with, but maybe not so much frustration. It's been good news up to now, but nevertheless it was well chaired discussion and quite entertaining.